Welcome back. I'm John P. Today we're joined by none other than Eric Wind of Wind Vintage. How are you, Eric?
Good. How about you, John?
Great. I am doing so well. Today we're actually going to be talking about a recent watch release, a collaboration that you actually were very instrumental in not only designing but releasing the collaboration. Why don't we do that? Why don't we jump right into it and talk about this? What is the watch that you just released?
So it's our third Rowing Blazers x Seiko 5 Sports collaboration. This just came out about a week ago, and we've been thrilled with the response. 4 models. They're each limited to 888 numbered pieces.
888 pieces.
And we did a similar model in the fall, also 888 each pieces, each times 4. And in our first collaboration was in June 2021. That was 3 models at 500 pieces each.
That's awesome. And I actually have a few of them as well. If you watch this channel, you know that I really do love and enjoy them. The colors, the style, it's just so cool. But before we jump into the watches, for those of you that are just kind of getting caught up with this collaboration and maybe the Rowing Blazers brand, why don't we just talk a little bit about what Rowing Blazers is, what is your connection to the brand, and maybe how the Seiko collaborations, not only this one, but the previous 2, really came to be.
It's been a fun journey. Rowing Blazers was started by my best man, who I met before my freshman year at Georgetown back in 2005. And he was on the Georgetown rowing team, then went to Oxford, was on the Oxford rowing team. He had been on his high school rowing team in Boston, and he was fascinated by the blazers many teams wore. So he wrote a book called Rowing Blazers, and that received wonderful reception. Then he decided to start a clothing brand a couple of years after that. He was on the U.S. national rowing team and was trying out for the Olympics, and then decided to start a clothing brand. So that started around 2015-16. We went out to Seiko to visit them. One of my...
In 2016.
17. Yeah, the brand was still pretty early, young, I should say. But then we went to visit Seiko, said we'd love to do something with you, if at all possible. After we had set up the meeting, they basically said, we'll be in touch. 2 years later, they were in touch, said, let's do something. We didn't think we'd ever hear from them, really, but 2019, we heard from them. They said, we're launching this line called Seiko 5 Sports, replacing the SKX line. We'd love to do a collaboration with you, and the rest is history.
And that's amazing, because not only did you do the collaboration, currently, Seiko USA has you on their homepage, and they have a separate section, which is interesting because for none of the other collaborations on Seiko do they have their own section, but you have your own section for the Rowing Blazers collaboration. So I think that really is a testament for the power between, I guess, the streetwear brand and watches. It's just awesome to see this happen.
It's very cool. I never thought we'd be on our third, as of 2023, when, they just contacted us in 2019 to do something. I thought it might be one and done, but it went, far beyond my highest expectations in 2021, and we've continued on.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and, Rowing Blazers for this collaboration, and obviously Seiko as well.
Yeah, and I'm on the board of advisors of Rowing Blazers, and I have a small bit of equity. I invested in the company, so I have also kind of overseen all the watch collaborations. No rowboat, unfortunately.
Okay, so you cut the checks.
Yeah. But
I'm just kidding.
But the collaborations. It's been fun to do all the watch collaborations with them.
That's cool. Well, I'm looking forward to more of them. But why don't we actually go under the loop here and talk about these that you just released?
Yes.
So let's go through each color.
We've got 4
models. What do we have here?
Yeah, this is arguably the most popular overall.
The white
dial. We did Rowing Blazers invented something called the croquet stripe. That's 7 different colors. And essentially the hour markers reflect that. So it's got, some people call them flag hour markers. They're not exactly meant to be flags. They're just interesting hour markers.
Oh, wow. Because people on the forums and things, they generally refer to this as like the flag dial.
Yeah, exactly.
It's black dial example from the previous collections.
Exactly. We did the black dial for the fall in November, and then we thought white dial for summer would be great.
Oh, yeah. Summer watch right here.
Yeah, exactly.
This one, I think, is sold out most places,
It's sold out everywhere pretty quickly, and it's doing well on the resale market already.
Amazing. And now we have one that I really love. This is a purple one, right?
Yes. The purple is a cool color. There aren't a lot of purple dial watches. Kind of, with all of these, we had to really dial in the right color, the Pantone. You don't want it so dark that it looks almost black. You don't want it like super purpley blue where it's too bright.
Is that the Pantone Purple that was color of the year, I think 2 years ago?
I don't know I forget which one we did exactly on this, but it's possible. And
I think they require licensing fees if it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's close.
It's all, trust me. It
depends on the light.
It's all above board.
Of course.
It's a great purple. It's like, in dark light, it does look darker, but in the sun, it's like a very kind of pure purple.
It's almost a Barney the Dinosaur purple.
Almost, but a little darker.
A little darker. I like that. That's awesome. So, it could be for guys or girls or anyone, really.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But now we have a color that's more of a pastel pink.
Yes.
Now, you have to tell me, what is the idea behind this watch? I like it, but there's not a lot of pink watches. Maybe some breast cancer awareness and some things along those lines, but... pink watch.
It's also, with this model particularly, which was this SRPE platform, these are watches that are great on anyone. You don't have to have a massive wrist, but it does work well on a massive wrist.
40
millimeters?
millimeters?
Well. Exactly. It's 40, but the lugs are kind of short, whereas more like 38 to 39. It's great. A lot of women buy these. It's nice to have something that, for many people, it's their first mechanical watch, these pieces. I hear that like almost daily, and how much joy they bring over the last couple of collaborations. So, these are watches that we want people to buy and wear, not just sit in their watch drawer.
Sit on Chrono 24.
Yeah, exactly. So, these are meant to be worn, enjoyed,
Great.
Wear it in the pool this summer, etc. The pink, not common to have a lot of pink dials, and I like this shade. It's not too dark, not too kind of neon.
It's not overbearing. It's almost subtle in a way, kind of like the one Grand Seiko model for spring, I believe, where it's like technically it's pink, but depending on the light, it could be a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's nice. It's versatile as well. So
that is great.
You don't feel like you're wearing a neon watch.
And then we have the yellow dial. Now, yellow in watches, I have to say, it can be polarizing. The color yellow is a very polarizing color. Breitling has used a lot of yellow in the past, and it's always one of those watches where someone that's looking for a yellow watch has to have it. But what's the inspiration behind the yellow?
There are some historic Seikos with yellow dials, and we were really trying to also... We were looking at, these were based on a vintage model, first of all, the 70s Sport Diver that was orange, and we did an orange in the fall. That's pretty close in color to the original. But we were looking at the four together, how they would look next to each other. So both with the fall and this year's introduction, we thought yellow, white, pink, and purple were like a nice mix of light and dark. And they look good in a photo when you have all four.
They do.
There's nothing scientific about that, but we wanted the four to look good together because we knew when we're marketing the watch, there's going to be photos of the four next to each other. So you don't want it too dark.
Smart.
You don't want it too bright. And, it feels summer as well, the four together. So, it's been very successful. We're very, very happy with it.
And it's also very clear that you've tried, probably, whether consciously or not, to steer clear of colors that might be too close to Rolex colors. That was a complaint of many brands today, maybe too close to Rolex Oyster Perpetuals, for better or worse, but these are pretty far.
Yeah, they're different. We obviously didn't want anyone to think we're copying anyone else. And, for people that are looking for a color that they might like, We have kind of 8 options between these 4 and the 4 in the fall.
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again. I think this is another excellent reveal here and release. But you have to share with us here and the viewers at home, are there going to be any more Seiko collabs with Rowing Blazers?
We're hoping to do some more. Yeah.
Is that a yes?
It's up to Seiko, but
Seiko.
We're in discussions and hopefully have some more.
Well, let's leave it up to the guys out there at home. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this collaboration, the previous collaborations, maybe even what you'd like to see in the future. Maybe in the comments below, the guys at Rowing Blazers, Jack,
give us some good ideas. If we use it, we'll give you a watch.
You heard it here. You heard it here. So leave it down below and we'll make sure to get it over to the guys over there. Anything else you'd like to leave here? Where can they find these watches?
Pretty much all of the white and pink are sold out worldwide. There are a small number of purple and yellow watches left. They're $495 on rowingblazers.com, shop.hodinkee.com, and seikousa.com.
Amazing.
And they're in a few select kind of luxe Seiko retailers in the United States as well. Small number.
Great. Well, get them while you can. The last ones flew off the shelf, so I'm sure these will as well. But yeah, thank you once again for bringing the watches here, showing me, the viewers, and we're looking forward to seeing what you do with Rowing Blazers in the future.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.